The Indian economy has witnessed profound positive transformation in the last 10 years. The people of India are looking ahead to the future with hope and optimism.
Capital expenditure or capex is the government's biggest growth lever. It is the money spent on highways, rail lines, defense equipment, city infrastructure, digital networks and other long-term projects. Unlike subsidies, capex creates assets, and those assets shape productivity, jobs and even private investment for years. So as we head towards Budget 2026, here is a recap of what Union Budget 2025 did for capex and whether it really delivered a boost. The short answer is yes, capex did go up, but the pace of that push slowed. And in a few key areas like railways and defense modernization, spending stayed flat or rose only modestly. For 2025-2026, the centre set its capital expenditure outlay at 11.21 trillion rupees. Now that is around 3.1% of GDP and roughly 10% higher than the 2024-25 revised estimate of 10.18 trillion rupees. That sounds strong on paper, but compared to the sharp capex jumps of the previous few years, this was a more measured increase. Budget 2025's capex story was less about ramping up allocations and more about improving delivery. In 2024-25, some major ministries underspent their capital budgets. So the message in Budget 2025 was clear: complete projects, spend more efficiently and focus on execution. Now let's break this down sector by sector. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways received 2.87 trillion rupees for 2025-26. That was only slightly higher than the 2024-25 revised level of about 2.80 trillion rupees. The bigger infrastructure push came through cities. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs saw a sharp boost driven by a new 1 trillion rupees Urban Challenge Fund. The idea was to upgrade cities into growth hubs through better transport, services and redevelopment. Support for states also continued. The budget extended 50-year interest-free capex loans to states set at 1.5 trillion rupees. This matters because a significant share of real infrastructure spending happens at the state level. These loans help push capex beyond Delhi and onto the ground. Railways capex was kept flat at 2.52 trillion rupees for 2025-26, unchanged from the previous year. That stood out because rail modernization needs heavy investment for decongestion, safety upgrades, station redevelopment and new trains. Many analysts call this a consolidation year. The signal appeared to be: first spend what has already been allocated, then ask for more. Defense received the largest overall allocation at 6.81 trillion rupees, but the capital outlay, money for new equipment and modernization, was 1.8 trillion rupees. That was only about a 4.6% increase over the previous year's budgeted level. Many experts describe this as modest, given India's security challenges and a large procurement pipeline. That said, the budget retained its Make in India emphasis. A large share of the defense procurement budget was earmarked for domestic industry, including private manufacturers. There was also a notable push for border infrastructure with a jump in funding for the Border Roads Organization. And defense R&D allocations increased as well, including higher spending for DRDO. The Communication Ministry's allocation fell sharply from about 1.5 trillion rupees in 2024-25 to 1.08 trillion rupees in 2025-26. But this drop was largely because the previous year included a one-off capital infusion, especially for BSNL. At the same time, Budget 2025 announced targeted digital initiatives. BharatNet was expanded to connect government secondary schools and primary health centers in rural areas. A new Bharat TradeNet platform was announced to streamline trade documentation. And the budget backed emerging technologies with 2,000 crore rupees for the India AI mission. So even though the telecom budget fell, the policy direction remained strongly digital, with sharper mission-led spending. So did Budget 2025 really boost capex? Here is the clear answer. Union Budget 2025 did not abandon the capex story. But it slowed the acceleration. It moved from aggressive expansion to consolidation and delivery with more focus on execution and project completion than headline jumps. In the next episode, we'll look at what the government promised in Budget 2025 and what is still pending. Follow Business Standard for more budget-related explainers.